Hello, I'm Colonel Failure, and this is Train Fever. When we last spoke, we were expanding Bromsgrove, the line into Bromsgrove, that is, out to Great Torrington, a town on the edge of the map, with no prospects, with very little to speak of. But what it affords us is the ability to do a lengthy 4-station shuttle route, which I'm pretty excited about. So we've double-tracked all the way down, including some unnecessary landscaping. But hey, it wouldn't be Train Fever without the occasional unnecessary landscaping. And what we're going to do this time around is we're going to complete the double tracking as far as need be. If you tuned in last time, you will have noticed that I've not got a complete track section here. So this peels off south. I'll zoom out in a sec so you can see what I'm talking about. Whereas this one will continue out to the west. Let's orient the line so that so you can get a feel for it. Okay, so southward comes down to Bexhill, good and glorious Bexhill, and where we're going is we're going Ripon, Bexhill, Bromsgrove, Torrington. Okay, and we're going to run back and forth, multiple trains in both directions. This is pretty bold stuff. I would have thought that maybe Bexhill, Haverhill, Tewkesbury would possibly be a better option on that front, but no, I've decided to give the new boys the first crack. So we need to redevelop the track here because it is a bit. Oh, do we? No, maybe we don't. Does this double track all the way? No, it doesn't. Okay, right. So we do need a little bit of redevelopment there to take us out to Ripon, but that's okay. This is also going to be very expensive. Let's get the simulation running. We need to double track all the way through this twin tunnel section, and then plough headlong into Bromsgrove in a good way, not in a catastrophic fashion. And then, if anything, this side of the platform, so this right-hand side of the platform, is only going to be used if I decide to up the tempo a little on the good side of things. So what I can do is if I extend just a little here. So we'll extend out. Let's go. Actually, let's extend. Terrain collision. Okay. Let's extend a little, just to the point that it can get up to max speed coming in. Right, like that. Bit further still, where we're running all 4 in parallel. Let's actually join those up. Cool in the gang. Okay, this means that this piece of track is effectively dead for the time being, but we'll probably do some merging at some point. Either merging in from this side, bringing goods in, or merging in from this side, bringing goods in. So I don't think it's going to be wasted forever. But we want to, there we go, make that a max speed set of points, and then do the same on the other side. This is quite bizarre. The signalling here is going to be, let's say, entertaining. Now, will you? No, that set of points. I run into this before, and thanks to some studious individuals on the Train Fever forums, this is largely because you end up with a collision. So you get a ditch in between the two, but you get a collision with points that you've already got. So here, for example, we're colliding with this line merger here. It's not really what I had in mind. However, we could do it later. So we can go like that, and I think we'll allow a slow down there just to buy me a bit more room. Or are you thinking this through? We'll flick that onto the other side as well. There. And then we need to flip from here-ish, kinda, onto please build in 2 steps. And that's what they were talking about. This is the gulf in question. So we need to build this out into being a kind of a central piece of track first. if we can do so without it terrain colliding. Ah, but look, then we're hitting those points. Ah, that's a right pain. This is an incredibly complex piece of junctioning we've got going on here. Let's cancel that, knowing that we can do it if we choose to. And then let's take one out. Switch is in the way. Get out of it. Oh, don't collide. Okay, what are we missing? Alright, so let's say, which way around do they want to go by default? Let's find me an active train. Now, I've messed around with the side of the track that everything runs on, so this may not be completely accurate. Let's, what have we got coming in here? Right, he's going to go... I'd be very surprised if he tried to hop onto the other line, but let's have a look. This is, where are we? Bexhill. This is Bex Bronze coming in, I think. Here we go. So he wants to hang on the right. That makes sense. So they want to drive on the right where at all possible, which means he's going to want to drive on the left coming back again. Okay, so if everything wants to drive on the right. Okay, so they've come into the station. They've come in from this direction, right? Okay, we're staying on the right, so we're on the right-hand side of the platform. We want to stay on the right. We're staying on the right. We're staying on the right. We're going all the way up here, which is still got us on the right. This is a good thing. So we can get all the way up to the other end and stay on the right the entire time. Now, coming back, we want to stay on the right again, but we're on the other side of the track now. So we come down here, and where we want to be is, you see, that's only got us on the left-hand side of the other platform. So the ideal would be a switch about here. Now, where's the starting point for these points? Yeah, we're going over the ditch, which is why it wants us to build in 2 stages. The only other alternative is to switch it onto the wrong track, but I don't want to switch it onto the wrong track. I want this to work up here. Unless, of course, it stays on this side of the station, which is also possible, and then we'll fix it over here. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not the most brilliant solution I've ever seen, but it is a solution. Which way are you going to go? Towards Billericay, I imagine. So let's straight line you out. Come on, click to your friend. Interesting. Not wanting to click properly. I think that's going to come back and haunt me. Let's fix that now. The good news is we are making money. Even with all this, you know, bad track laying that I've got going on, we're still making cash. But when possible, we try and get things right first time. So there we go. Let's just go out as far as that. Okay, so the train from Ripon is going to come in up on this side, which is mayhem. Which means we need to link. Hold on, let's get both tracks going here. Right, we need to link them together. So first off, we want to get that onto there. We'll make it go slow so that we can save the space. And then from this one onto that. Build in 2 stages. Alright, just this once, because it's you, and I like you. Kind of a... Okay, it's going to have to go downhill a little. Let's try and get at least 60 out of it. There we go. And then merge it onto that one. And then, in order to afford us the maximum number of options, we'll put that one on there. Please build in 2 steps. I don't want to build in 2 steps. And it's because it's leaving this gulf in between the two. And if I were a little bit more studious in the way I put tracks together, that wouldn't be a thing. Anyway, let's put that there to buy us options. There's a vehicle in the way. Alright, just wait till there isn't. So there's a high chance I rip all of this up, as ever, and put it back together again in a way that actually works. But for now, there we go. Come on, that vehicle's not really in the way. He's gone. By the time he comes back, he'll just be like, okay, that's how it is. Oh, come on. Fine, fast forward until he's out of the way. He needs to go past the signal. There we go. Right, good. Slow back down again. Alright, smashing. And then we need one that goes the opposite direction just to keep things sensible. So hopefully there is enough room here. But of course there's a gap between the two tracks. How much of this can I delete without causing a fuss? Come on, clip, 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 clip. You don't want to, do you? Okay, well, we'll just stick it back as it was. But what I would very much like to do, please, if it suited you, is to move from this left-hand track onto the right-hand. Now, if I have to do that in 2 steps, I will, but only if you let me. This is unfortunate. Maybe I won't need it. Or maybe I will need it, and this is also so catastrophically wrong that a great deal of engineering is required to get it working. We will figure that out when we put it into practice. Right, okay, let's... I mean, this is in no way a cheap endeavour. Still, you know, that's a whacking great chunk of track there for 55 grand. Splendid. And we're still 800 grand profitable this year. Just for me throwing money away like nobody's business. How wonderful is that? Okay, I imagine this tunnel is going to be a little bit more expensive. Now, I could make a split track for the tunnel, but this is going to be a very high speed route later on. So, in order to protect us from the future, if we've got the good signals there, we have. Let's spend all the money. Hold on, I'm not certain I actually connected up there. Yes, I did connect up. Okay, cool. See, the big challenge is I often refer to it as future-proofing, but what you're actually trying to do is make sure that any eventualities that come up, you can avoid by having set the track up correctly in the first place. Okay, right, and then bang, and you're happy. Oh, it's very tempting. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bash this over onto that piece of 5th track that we had no idea what it was for. Just because then we've got that connected to something, and it makes it look like, oh, that must have been deliberate. Certainly, that was definitely an intentional move there. What an engineering genius this man is. Okay, last segment. On we jolly well go. And then I need to electrify it all. I'm going to run electrics down here. Actually, I think I've got a couple of A4s in service on this route already. But fundamentally, this is going to be an electrified route in future. Oh, I need to electrify both sides. Okay. Well, I can afford it, and it's worth it. Let's put a switch on here, just so we have the lane change option should it be required. Oh, no, look, pin to the track. This is an important safety tip. Right, look, when you're laying track out, you either end up with this solid block in between, which means they are running exactly and perfectly parallel. That's what you want. If, however, you don't do that, you end up with, let's find a really obvious bit. Here we go. Excuse me. You end up with this little ditch in between. Do forgive me. I'll try and edit that out if I remember. If I don't remember, just, you know, pay testimony to me if I die of consumption or something. Right. Yes. Yes, if you've got this ditch in between, you will be asked to do your points in 2 steps. Build in 2 steps. Okay, so if at all possible, if you're intending both tracks to go in the same direction, this is the wiggliest piece of switcheroo going on here. So if you are planning to keep two tracks together, then keep them together. Don't allow the ditch to form in the first place unless you have to. Ooh, interesting. Why have we got terrain collision here? That shouldn't be the case. So there we go. We've stuck a ditch in there, but that's possibly because of the points on the other track. Come on, come on. Okie dokie. And it's a massive relief that that building secondary pin tracks is inexpensive compared to laying down the initial one, because otherwise all hell would break loose. Okay, and then into the station. Sweet. Right, we'll put some track switching in here just so they have the option to go the other way if they want to. Grand. Okay, so we are now double tracked all the way from Ripon here out to Great Torrington, Great Torrington, which is excellent. I think next step will be let's electrify this bad boy. If you leave any gaps in your electrification, trains will not run, and that includes at points or switches, depending on which you prefer. So it does pay to be methodical when you're electrifying. The good news is that the system will go, well, obviously you're going to electrify all the way along here, so I'll make life easy for you in that regard. And I think actually to give myself some options here, I'll can you peel off? And then, can you join this? Oh, the curvature's not really too high. Well, maybe it is. Okay, that's not going to do it. I'm going to need to bulldoze that. To be honest, I could just bulldoze the engine shed and move it a little bit further away. It's not like there's anything stopping me from doing that. It's 200 quid to bulldoze it. There we go. Yes, it's a little bit of unnecessary expense, and maybe I should have seen it coming. But hey, that's like my motto. Hey, that's a bit of expense that I should have seen coming. Excellent. Electrify that bit, otherwise I'll forget. Electrify this bit so I don't forget. Alright, and then can we come off here? Yes, we can. And then fling it around there. Just like that. The depot engine shed doesn't need to be able to go particularly fast, so I'm quite happy to have it doing a slow speed swoop. And then depot. Great. Okay. Where are we? Electrifying. Right. Here we go. Let's keep an eye on everything. You done? No. See, if you don't electrify your points, your switches, you will probably find yourself in a position at some point where you're questioning why a train won't use a particular track that you had in mind, and it'll be because it can't. You don't look like you're already electrified. Oh no, maybe you are. Okay, cool. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong, electrification is hardly the most beautiful thing in the world, but it does sell the notion of this being a relatively modern train network. Okay, keep your eye open for points, everybody. where did I miss? I know, this is slightly laborious. It's not the most exciting thing ever. I think we've got all those. Let's just check this crossing. Yeah, that's fine. And I'm doing it from a really wonky camera angle. Okay, right. This one here. That one is already done. Electrify that. And this, and that. And this. Electrify all. There we go. And we're still making profit this year. Last year, when we did quite a lot of building, we made... ooh, Train 1 has reached the edge of its lifetime. Well, Train 1 could be about to be rebirthed, depending on what it's running at the moment. What's going on here? Are you actually covered? Interesting. The power pylons appear to be on the other side. Right, we're almost there. Almost there. Bang. Okay. Not much further, and I think we're in business. Okay, we do need some points up here, though. Why have I not done this already? Yeah, we're definitely going to want them to be able to switch sides, so let's do that now. Oh, I wonder, can you... That's high-speed track. We're not quite ready for high-speed yet. Or maybe we are. Who knows? I'm half hoping that, that the game will tell me you need a high-speed track for this particular train. Right. Good. Right. There we go. That'll do it. So here we go. The money's looking good. We are raking it in. This is all good news. And let's have a look. Trains. Still burning money there on Tewkesbury Iron. But Tewkesbury Coal now also is just a waste of my time and money. Interesting. I'll have to have a look into that at some point. Still, both the Haverbecks and Haver-Tewkes are making money like that's going out of business, and Beck's Broms also is really getting it done. That's good. What about Road? Road has tended to be slightly more robust. Tewkesbury Oil, you carrying anything? No, of course you're not. Well, you can run till you die. And yeah, Road is doing okay. Is the tram profitable yet? No, but neither is it costing us that much. So I think to finish off, we'll go ride on Wolfman for a minute. Splendid. There are passengers waiting, but really, Bromsgrove is waiting for the start of this magnificent folly that is the 4-station route we've got planned. And hopefully we'll run the first train down there in the next episode. So why don't you tune in then and find out how we get on. I've been Colonel Failure. Please do like and subscribe and tell your friends and your enemies that they should be watching this because it's riveting stuff. I'll catch you next time. Cheerio.